The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
I see dead people.
What up, what up, what up?
I don't think Raymond ever been first a day in my YouTube career. It's a historical night.
Yeah.
Andre, what up? Raptor Cloak, what up? JD75. Appreciate y'all being here. Everyone else.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody being here. It has been a
What
week.
a week it has been.
It has been a week. From some Marvel news, I guess, to, I mean, the most interesting thing for me this week, I don't know if everybody's into that type of stuff, is the hip hop, world outside of,
Rap beef, nigga.
Yeah, if you're interested in those things, but that has been one of the best things for my week, the rap beef. I hate, we were just talking about it, I hate that it's over. I don't know that, I wanted Chill. I wanted Kendrick to say something else, but yeah. Do appreciate everybody being here. There's really, I put on the title of this live, I said what I said for the title as far as like Ryan Coogler, Marvel wanting Ryan Coogler for the X-Men, and I also put and more news. Well, that's not true. There is more news.
I lied.
But we're not.
Y'all niggas got clickbaited.
But we're really not going to jump into the other news. I really don't feel there's other things out there that happened this week. Kevin Feige's comments on, being the underdog and him liking that Marvel's the underdog so that they can exceed expectations and things like that. And I put on Twitter early this week that I do somewhat believe that, Kevin Feige and company can turn it around, just from some of the things that, we've seen them do in the past. A lot of people like to forget that Phase 2 wasn't the best for Marvel either. There was, you take yourself back to those days if you were into the MCU then or into YouTube and those type of videos then in those spaces. People were making videos about Phase 2. You can go back and you can look it up. Phase 2 was not a beloved phase at all. And I'm not making excuses for Phase 4. That doesn't, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes so you don't repeat what you did with Phase 2. But they ended up also, repeating that with Phase 4. But I also think that with that, Kevin Feige and company do recognize that they have lost the interest of the fans. I mean, Sean Levy, who has not even been with Marvel for longer than Deadpool, said, you'd have to live under a rock if you didn't know what was going on with Marvel and people not being happy with what they're consuming and things like that. So, yeah, like I said on Twitter, character appearances aside, I do believe that they are going to turn it around. We've got a gauntlet of films in front of us and things that they've got to accomplish in as far as Secret Wars, Captain America 4, Fantastic Four, Avengers 5, Spider-Man 4. They've got some big names that they've got to bring home.
Fucking hate to say it, Black Panther 3.
Yeah.
I think they've got to do better than what they did. I mean, T'Challa's situation aside, that plot was ass. Doctor Strange 2. Wanda shit aside, the plot I didn't really enjoy.
Right.
So, Doctor Strange 3, Black Panther, all these next movies coming up and everything, even Thor's next movie coming off Love and Thunder, they've all got stuff to prove. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that's the most exciting place to be as a Marvel fan, knowing that hopefully they're hiring writers and directors that they know that these films needs to prove something now. Like, they're not just, like Feige said, they're not at the top anymore. You know,
Right.
They've had this little slump that they've kind of been in. And so hopefully everyone has that same idea as him in terms of let's come in, we've kind of we're back in the underdog story, and we need people who want to do this shit. I mean, we all know the MCU does shit different than the comics, so it's like, comics aside, whether you hire people who know about the comics or not, just hires at least people who are going to come in, give a damn about do a little research on the character, and then give a damn about the plot and story that's going to be told, like, that's the least you can ask for if they're not going to give us fucking relatable comic shit.
Right.
At least give us good versions of y'all, like, telling stories and stuff. Like, I feel like what they've been giving us is just lazy. Like, we've talked about it so many times how this shit feels like Rick and Morty episodes, like, just lazy, Since Trey was on the channel, he said they don't know how to end fucking Marvel movies and nothing's changed, so...
Yeah.
It's just same old shit, so hopefully we're getting towards a change or something.
Yeah, hopefully,
Especially with what we just saw, not to cut you off or nothing, but what we've been watching.
Right, with X-Men. They've done, it's we'll have to wait to see what is going on. So I guess this is a bit of news that you can add to that. Marvel is apparently not doing SDCC this year. They're not going to do San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with them not doing San Diego Comic-Con because if the presentation is supposed to be as extravagant as what some are assuming, now I want to kind of temper expectations here because we did this last year with D23, where we were all thinking, oh my God, Marvel's about to blow our minds. They're about to, give us the cast of the Fantastic Four. They're even going to probably talk about X-Men. There were the rumors of Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel Washington, all the stuff that was going on with people coming out, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, D23 was not that.
Before you even continue, you'd think some of that shit was true, and then some of this bad shit happened, and they had to go back and no, we're not going to do this shit. Like, or do you think some of it is, and they're going to do it in a different universe? Or you just think they recasted Giancarlo, like you said, in his own special, non-Marvel MCU character?
I really don't know what they're doing with Giancarlo. He's campaigned and said that he wants to play this character, wants to play that character. He wants to be a villain. So whoever it is, I wonder if it is going to be a villain. Somebody had put together a photo of him as an older version of Kang. So I don't know. I doubt it's that. I mean, I really don't know. He could be trolling with the whole it's an original character thing. But I saw some people saying, well, he could just be trolling. He could be. I don't know that he is. And the reason I say that is because you look at Marvel right now. How many original characters have we gotten in some of these shows? We've gotten 2 so far. You got the one in Moon Knight. The original character and what's her name? It's not a Marvel character. It's a character they created.
We got the one. We got Gaia.
Oh, Gaia. I forget about them because it's so.
What If?
That's right. You got What If. You got Gaia. You've got the girl from Moon Knight. You've got what's going to be the Green Witch and Aubrey Plaza. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because people were like, well, he's too big of a name for him to just... I wouldn't put it past Marvel. Aubrey Plaza is no Giancarlo Esposito, but she's still Aubrey Plaza. And it's like, that's a big name that you are just relegating to some witch titled the Green Witch that you've created in Marvel. So I wouldn't put it past them that Giancarlo would be. Yeah, even Amelia Clark being fucking Gaia. So it's like, again, and I forget about Secret Invasion because Secret Invasion was just so off base of what it was.
The last episode in '97 is what Secret Invasion should have been like, and I was like, man, that's so good because like how the Sentinels invaded and everything, and they didn't know it. That show was showcased in fucking 30 minutes. Yeah. And fucking Secret Invasion couldn't do that in 8 episodes.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I think that whatever Kevin Feige and them are doing, they're not doing, like I said, they're not doing D23 this year, or SDCC this year, they're doing D23. So maybe we could expect, I've seen a lot of rumors and speculation out there of what we can expect from D23 and what they're going to talk about. And a lot of that is the Fantastic Four. A lot of that is probably going to be X-Men, future projects, maybe hearing that Secret Wars and might be pushed back. We've heard Avengers 5 is going to start filming this year in December. A lot of different projects are probably going to be announced or people brought on stage or whatever, just because again, I'm looking at Kevin Feige's comments here when he says, we like being the underdog, expectations, things like that. Sean Levy saying you have to live under a rock to know that Marvel films haven't been what they are. If you take all that and you jumble it together, and I'm not saying they have to. Maybe Marvel is going to save it for the films themselves as far as the shock factor and exceeding expectations. But I think maybe they might give people something just to talk about at D23. Maybe like, okay, we are still the same Marvel. We had a rough patch, but here we're ready to win you back and wow you again, and here's some of the things we've got coming. So maybe it could be like that. I really don't know.
Hopefully they can do something with the Fantastic Four now that they're casted, and maybe that'll at least get some people excited or some shit.
Yeah, maybe if they've got something that they could even show. I don't know about from the Fantastic Four itself, but something that they could show.
Even just one of the uniforms being done. Yeah, one of them walking out fucking in uniform or some shit. Something
like that. Something that could just reinvigorate fans and get conversation going. But that's that on that. And then to add to that, I will say this too, because it's kind of the same. Bob Iger did talk about how they are going to now only release 3 Marvel projects per year. I think that 3 Marvel projects per year, and that is including.
Is it 3 movies?
That's
and
what
2 shows.
That's what I was thinking.
So
it was 3. Yeah, 3 movies, 2 shows that they are going to do. Instead of pumping out all the projects and things that they have been doing, that they did do in Phase 4. So that is kind of some of the rumblings and things going on for Marvel. And I will add this in this. I'm not going to make this its own topic, but I'm going to add this in here about Deadpool. So when you look at talking about reinvigorating Marvel and wanting to wow and exceed expectations, the rumor is, and again, grain of salt. So for those of you that don't want to hear this is for the post-credit scene for one of the post-credit scenes for Deadpool. So if you don't want to hear this, you can mute it, you can come back or whatever.
Deadpool spoiler.
Yeah, Deadpool spoilers.
I'll let y'all know when we're done talking about it. If you do leave, just let me know.
But this is what they are talking about right now for Deadpool. The rumor is, and this shouldn't really come as a surprise to anyone, knowing that Deadpool does take us right into Secret Wars, knowing that Deadpool is supposed to be this film where we're supposed to start seeing a lot of the, I don't know why Deadpool, but the multiversal stuff going on and things like that. The news on the street for Deadpool is that the post-credit scene involves Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Chris Evans as Captain America. And that involves both of them in here. And obviously it is not going to be our Iron Man from our universe or our Captain America from our universe. Cap is older in our universe and Iron Man is dead in our universe. So things are not going to reverse. These are obviously multiversal variants of the two. But when you talk about reinvigorating and exceeding expectations, you want fans talking. You want the conversation to be all about Marvel. Don't get me wrong, 97's fantastic, but you put Evans and Downey back in the uniforms and back on the screen. Oh God, the people are going to go crazy. That's all people want anyway. People want to see Robert Downey Jr. back as Iron Man. People want to see Chris Evans back as Captain America. And again, that really shouldn't come as a surprise, knowing that this is the multiverse. And they are currently doing reshoots for Deadpool. And the rumor is those reshoots were to add more cameos. And with those cameos comes this now rumor of the post-credit scene. So if they're wanting to exceed expectations, if they're wanting to, surprise and continues, like being the underdog, Deadpool would be that good start. So it takes you back to the conversation of Deadpool being the thing that I still say it's not changing the MCU, but it definitely would be the thing that I guess would get people excited again about the MCU because the X-Men 97 is not within the MCU. That's just a Marvel project itself. But to get people excited about the MCU sacred timeline again, sure, this could be that film. But to be the film that I think saves the MCU, I still don't think it's that. But that is what we know right now about Deadpool. Those are some of the, just that I wanted to add that into the expectations and exceeding expectations for what Marvel's trying to do right now. But that's what we know. That's what we know right now. We'll read some of those if anybody's saying just anything that people were saying on some of the comments before we move.
My fault. I was letting them know we're done with Deadpool. Cornelius said, "Did y'all already do the review?" Assuming he's talking about 97.
No, we'll talk about that in just a second here.
No, I don't know what that Are we even, you going to post that reaction? Or are we just going to talk about it?
We're just going to talk about the review.
Yeah, no, so we're about to do that shit. J-Rob said, Ryan about to kill off all the black X-Men. Also, should be talking about that, but we said the same thing. Not Again said, felt like we should have gotten multiverse stuff in Multiverse of Madness, but all we got was a 9-second clip of Strange in America traveling it. Even No Way Home teased it with the villains in the sky.
Yeah. No, all those things about...
Bunch of fucking unfinished stories.
Yeah. All those things for Multiverse of Madness. Just not the film I expected it to be with a lot of us. Oh, this was something too. Andre had tagged me in this, but this was something that the Geeky Cast had posted, and they had posted this seemingly, kind of, we had kind of talked about this. We talked about this last week, the video of us posted, of Q and me laughing at the roster, but this is, minus Thor. This is the roster for, and I say minus Thor. It was rumored that Thor was going to be there, not confirmed. I believe Cumberbatch is for sure going to be in Avengers 5, but this is right now the roster. I don't know about the Wanda deal because I've not heard anything about Wanda's stuff since.
Yeah, I don't think that shit would work.
Yeah, I don't know about Wanda being there.
I'd question it in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, I'd question it in terms of storytelling as well.
Strange and Wanda are just on the same team after what she did to that nigga shit.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think that it's going to be.
And shit, Rhodey was a Skrull, so
that's true too.
I don't even.
So this is that question. Okay, I still don't know what the Avengers are going to look like. Now again, there were people that were named last week that aren't here, like She-Hulk, Moon Knight. Who else? I don't remember.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, Shang-Chi. Yes, that are also not in this picture. So I would take probably Wanda out. I would maybe even take War Machine out because we don't know.
I would take Strange out. As a Doctor Strange fan, I'm just tired of him being an Avenger in terms of he doesn't need to be on this team. He needs to be like multiversal, protecting as himself. Like
right.
He comes down and helps them, but like in terms of he sees the bigger picture, he needs to be actually out in the multiverse or some shit. But maybe he's just in this picture and that's what he's doing. But I don't know. I never liked how the MCU just keeps him as like part of the team and then fucking. He does this, and then he's right back behind. Like, he's not just the protector of the multiverse or some shit. Like, actually have that nigga out fucking with Clea in the dark dimension or some shit, and then shit's going bad on Earth, and he has to come back. I don't know. Just, I don't want to see that nigga teaming up with Sam, Rhodey, and fucking... I don't know. That's just not what I want to see.
Yeah, I don't... Like I said, I don't...
Sam, Rhodey,
still got like she like well let me I'm trying to get it out. I don't really know how to surmise of this team. It's really hard. It's difficult because this is not a box office team. This is not a team that gets anybody in seats. So again, it takes you back to that conversation of reinvigorating, exceeding expectations.
Especially
this
after
doesn't
everyone's
do that.
Last projects too. You look at Secret Invasion. Then you look at Black Panther. Then you look at, Spider-Man did good.
Oh, Wasp was right there. Didn't see her little ass.
I forgot about that too. I guess Doctor Strange and Wanda are coming off Multiverse of Madness, which is debatable, I guess. But Ant-Man, bad. Like, it's like they're coming off bad projects too, so... At least hopefully they can set some of them up with some good storytelling before they actually get to Avengers 5. Cause
but here's the again, it's the threat. What is the threat Kang? If the threat's Kang and
what did you see the rumor about Doom?
Yes, I saw that.
About who casting with the
Yeah, I did see that.
So, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna shoehorn him in as soon as Secret Wars.
But there was also a rumor that Doom and Galactus are supposed to have a showdown in Fantastic Four. So I'm like, I don't know.
That's why I say, look, they could be shoehorning him in before, and then he is ending up being there. But that's a lot of shit to do, having him with Galactus and then also plotting Secret Wars. Well, you're just you're cooking a lot of shit at once. Like instead of taking step by step, you just fucking threw all 4 pans on 4 burners and started cooking 4 different things. Then threw something in the oven, in the microwave. You just got so much shit going at once. Because I don't know if we were on stream talking about it, but Yeah, no, we were with the other comment. They did the Spider-Man with the multiversal stuff at the end. We still got the end of Shang-Chi, how that ended with him wanting to be
There's
an
a
Avenger.
lot they have to clean up. They have a lot to
I was
clean
going
up.
to say, because the way it was looking at the end of it, it was Banner and Captain Marvel recruiting Shang-Chi for the next Avengers. So it's like, I don't know where Banner's at in this.
Still Banner, not the Hulk. Still, passing out tacos and shit. And you've got, it's just, I don't know. I really don't know. But again, my question is, if the threat is Kang in this film, again, you've not really established Kang as this major threat. So I guess sure that could work. I just, you gotta wait to see. I guess if this is really the team, wow. Wow. And again, I don't expect Wanda to be there. That's not going to happen. I don't expect to see Wanda. I don't really even expect to see War Machine, because this one that he doesn't know anything. The last thing he remembers was the shit that happened to him in Civil War. So he's been, controlled by the Skrulls ever since. So he doesn't know shit. He's been out the game since then. He missed the blip. He missed Secret Wars, Endgame, Infinity. He missed everything. So where he fits in this, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about her in the back. And then there's Ant-Man. So, I mean, the Spider-Man thing, we knew. Captain America being there makes sense. Carol, I'm sure she's going to be there. The rumor again was She-Hulk, Moon Knight. They're still missing. Again, Moon Knight. I said at the beginning, I never knew how Moon Knight worked in a team setting. Anyway, I don't know how Moon Knight's going to work with the Avengers. Again, I know he's been on the West Coast Avengers and things like that. But the way they have set Moon Knight up in the MCU, it's not just Moon Knight. It's Moon Knight +1. You've got Khonshu there, and I don't know how that works in team meetings. Is Moon Knight talking to Khonshu while?
Yeah.
If Khonshu disagrees with something, he can't physically harm them, but, I don't know. Just.
Well, it's like even talking about, I'm trying to think back to Moon Knight, because I genuinely enjoyed Moon Knight, but it's not nothing memorable, or I don't think I've rewatched any of it. I mean, a couple scenes I've rewatched, but is Khonshu there whenever he's not in his suit?
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Khonshu's present all the time.
I was going to say, I don't remember if the MCU displayed that, but yeah, no. Then I don't know. We've talked about that shit countless times. They're just going to be fucking sitting there, you floating above them niggas.
Yeah, but this is the team as of now. The rumored team, I guess, as of now. So that was just scrolling through some of the things I'm just kind of scrolling through some of the news from this past week. I guess we can go here, too.
Yeah. What
are we thinking here? Are we happy with this? And this is the last thing we'll do before we kind of jump to the comments here on the last topic in this one. But James Gunn did share this picture of David Cornsweet as Superman. And this is the actual suit. This is not like this is it. This is it. This is the suit. Now, I didn't talk about it. I didn't rant about it. But I did agree with what Mercury said about it. Just that I'll actually go to what Mercury said about it. It is not. It's not what I was expecting at all for the suit. But he said, genuinely would have given 10s if they were due. But this is genuinely dreadful. The weird neckline, CW boots. I can so agree on the CW boots. CW boots, screen printed crest, weird padding on the sleeves, and overall design lines and trunks. Laugh my ass off. How do you see this and not tell Gunn as a friend to go back to the drawing board? Yeah, I agree. I do. This is not what I expected the suit to look like. But again, we got to see him standing up too. He's sitting down. I want to see the trunks, see exactly what it looks like. I do think some people though are making it way bigger deal than what it is. Some people saying like, oh, well, you got rid of Cavill for this, and I feel like a lot of people are just finding a way to nitpick, to pin something back to getting rid of Cavill. And again, I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I hated that Cavill got rid of as well. But at the same time, I'm still very much optimistic and very much interested to seeing what James Gunn's Superman film is going to be, what it's going to look like. This one picture doesn't take me out of the film. It doesn't take my interest out or anything like that. Again, it's not I got to see him stand up. I agree with the CW boots. I even somewhat agree with the. I've seen the comic pic of the neckline. It's different. I don't know. I gotta see him standing up. This is not enough for me to overreact about, though. But I just feel like people are finding a way to nitpick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because it's guns.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in the back, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the back.
I might be on a limb here, but I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I just don't like the little shoulder pad on the right side.
Yeah, the shoulder pad.
I don't like
very Homelander.
I don't even dislike the boots, but I don't like the chunky ass part on the sides. Like, I don't know why there's so much extra padding on the suit, but I don't dislike like the coloration on the logo or on the chest piece or anything like that. Like, I don't know. I'm not.
I just want to see him stand up. That's want to see him stand up. And
I don't think it's the best first image that could have been released. No,
it's definitely not that. And I felt like they thought they really ate with this.
Yeah, no, that's what me and Cordelia said. The boots look so comfortable. Like, they deadass look like. I mean, he said it too, like some cosplay boots. Like, they look like some nigga made them.
Yeah, it does. It looks CW.
Painted over them.
Like, very
I don't
CW.
know, but I think he personally looks good in the suit and everything. I don't have any complaints on it. I mean, I do have complaints on it, but not on him being in the suit or anything. Like, he looks like Superman.
Yeah, I'm ready to see him himself. But yeah, that's. I mean, I really never. That's why I didn't really post about it. I didn't have any thoughts really on the suit, other than I need to see more. So
I don't know. Him sitting down too. The cape looked long as shit.
Yeah. We've talked about this a little bit, not like major conversation, but in talking about the Fantastic Four, talking about the Teen Titans. I've said this too. I don't know. I forget his name. I think it's in here. Yeah. What's his name? Ryan Potter. Or no, actor Ryan Potter once. Oh, that's why I don't know his name, because I can never pronounce it.
Naki Godoy.
He, I think, would be. I didn't want. Again, not a One Piece fan or anything like that. But I have seen this kid in interviews. I have seen him in previews for One Piece. He does have the Beast Boy energy, and he looks like him. It would work.
I can see it off look.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because me and Ricardo were just talking about the suit and everything, and the one thing I said, I was like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even like the biggest Superman fan. Like, I like him, but I'm not like Superman this. I think that nigga is like, bro, he's like the cheapest superhero, bro. Like, cheapest fucking. I mean, there's just so many like Homeland. I mean, they're all dupes and shit. There's so many Superman dupes and shit, and so I don't know. But the one thing I told him, I was like, bro, if what I'm hearing is right about the Teen Titans and shit, like, bro, I just want Beast Boy done right. Like, after all this shit, I want Raven done right. Yeah. I want all the Teen Titans done right. I want Ezra Miller out as the Flash, because the Flash is probably my favorite fucking DC superhero. And so, once I get that, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. But I think that's why I'm not really hating on the Superman shit, because I'm not his biggest fan or critic or anything like that. But that's why I also understand it, because some people are waiting to see a fucking good Superman, and this isn't what they expected or some shit like that. So I definitely understand some of the hate, but
yeah,
Beast Boy, need a good fucking live action Beast Boy.
Yeah, I think he'd be good for Beast Boy. Like I said, he brings that energy. He looks like him already. He the energy that he was giving off in those interviews and things like that. I think he'd be a good Beast Boy. Somebody had said they wanted. Where is he? Is it too far down? The guy that plays Sokka in the live action Avatar show to be Beast. There it is. He's expressed his interest in playing Beast Boy. No, I don't want him to play Beast Boy. I don't want him to play Beast Boy. I think the One Piece kid is more suited for the Beast Boy character.
No.
Yeah, no, he's not. and again, and maybe that's because I also didn't like the Avatar live action show. I couldn't get past episode 4, but
Man, what a letdown.
What a letdown.
How much we were talking about that,
Jesus.
and I didn't even tap play on the first episode.
Oh,
because I got online, seen the shit, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was pretty bad. I remember I kept falling asleep on episode 4, so I finally just gave up and started 5 and just said, fuck it, I don't care. It's just not good.
Raven said it was really good.
Oh, no.
Y'all niggas don't tend to have agreeing opinions. So, I'm not surprised that you thought it was really good and fucking he thought it was shit.
I hated it. One of my nitpicks from that was when Katara and Sokka were in, why am I blanking? The spirit world with Aang. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are they doing in the spirit world, and why are they conscious enough to know that they're in the spirit world? Like, no, there were things that were changed I didn't like. Yeah, they can keep it. They can keep it. I'm not interested. I won't be tuning into season 2 Earth at all. So, at all. I'll wait for Avatar Studios and whatever they're cooking up over there. I'll wait for that. But outside of that, there's some of the other things we've already known, Mr. Sinister being the main villain of the X-Men film moving forward, which kind of brings us into the main topic of the stream here. And that is this news that broke today. And the news that broke today, let me go down to that. Actually, I'm sorry. Before we do that, before we jump into that, let me go ahead and give our X-Men. So we did watch X-Men 97. We did a reaction to it. Just didn't get to get it edited. But we did do a reaction to it. And so we're just going to give the review here. I'm going to start it the same way I said it earlier. I don't know what can be said about X-Men 97 that hasn't been said. The show, week to week, continues to shine, continues to exceed expectations. Again, I don't know what can be said about this show. I think I said this earlier, too. I've been saying it is one of the best things that Marvel has done since Endgame, but I think it's one of the best things Marvel's done, just period. This is a new benchmark for Marvel. This is this is the standard. This is what you want to strive to do on all platforms for Marvel, not just in the animation world, but also, in the live action MCU Sacred Timeline. You want to strive to put this care, love, and everything into the show. This last episode, that the things that they showcased, the things that we've talked about before, as far as like the allegory between or the similarities between Professor X and Martin Luther King and Magneto and Malcolm X, and just watching this episode, I've always said, even before this and real life, if I would have been born during the Civil Rights Movement or anything like that, I definitely, as much as I do respect Dr. King and have so much love for Dr. King and the things that he did for us to be able to sit here and have this conversation today, I would not have, though, as I said earlier, I would not have been sitting in the peaceful protest or marching on Selma or doing anything like that. I support it, but my attitude has always been, this was my attitude in 2020 when the BLM movement was going on. This would have been my attitude in during the Civil Rights Movement. Burn that shit down. Burn it to the ground. And I'm very pro Malcolm X's. And no, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that, Malcolm X's was the best way to get things done. But what I'm saying is, if you want your voice to be heard, sometimes you got to hit back the way that they're hitting at you. And that's the same way I view it for Magneto. Magneto said in this episode, I promised a kid that, he would be safe, and I watched the life be burned from his skull. And then he also, one of my favorite lines from this episode is when he told, the children of the atom, how many more of your bones are going to pave the path for his future? And that's just, like he said, we watched Genosha burn. We watched the mutants be massacred. We watched as Magneto tried to do it Charles's way. He tried to do it the peaceful way. He tried to do it, the way that, leading by Charles's example, and it didn't work that way. And it not working that way took him back to those old ways of, like he said at the end of that eighth episode, enough. We're not going to sit and watch more of our mutant kind die while we sit and try to work this out peacefully. And that's just the side. And I completely agree with Magneto. And I don't agree with his methods as far as like killing and things like that. But as far as like getting the point across that, we're not going to just sit idly by while you continue to massacre our kind or oppress our kind or anything like that. So yeah, I am on the side of stand up and take charge with Magneto. Brilliant episode. The adamantium being pulled from Wolverine's body. The imagery of it was brilliant. It was just everything, the care. Like I said, I don't know what Bo did, but the idea to have anybody else attached to any type of X-Men anything outside of Bo, it's hard to think about. It's hard to think about what a season 3 looks like. Do you lose the soul? Do you lose the spirit? Do you lose what is 97 currently? So but it was a great episode. A great episode that's really got me ready to see what this next episode is going to look like. There's the whole questions of Jean's death. Is she, what the fuck happened with Jean and Nathan there? Magneto, with Wolverine, just a lot. And I also see it from, I'm sorry I'm being winded, I also see it from Rogue's side. They replaced Rogue with Colossus. In the comics, it's Colossus in Fatal Attraction that makes the decision to go with Magneto because of the loss of his sister. But they replace it with Rogue here and Gambit, and I think that works perfectly. Rogue and Sunspot going with Magneto makes sense because of their story arcs that we've seen so far. We've seen Rogue, go to Genosha and witness it, and she even said in that episode that this is everything like he said it would be. And then in that same episode, watched it get burned to the ground, watched her lose Remy, watched her hold Remy in her arms. Rogue has been through the ringer right now, so her siding with Magneto makes sense, and I am on her side. I am. She was there. She witnessed it. She saw everybody burn and die, So, yeah, great fucking show. Great show.
Yeah, no. From the jump, I said, first of all, the last 5 minutes, I think, I was too shocked to even react because it was just moving so fast. Like, the pace of the show is amazing to get what they're getting done in 24 to 25 minutes, including they have the end credits and the little preview at the beginning and stuff and intro. But from the jump, just pulled from comics, Magneto sitting there. Yep. There's slight changes how there is and everything. Nothing is fucking... No, I don't think any story is directly like the book. We always say that, but like Hunger Games isn't just like the book. Fucking Maze Runner isn't straight like the book. So there's always these little changes and stuff. But from the beginning, having Cyclops and Jean, the conversation with Charles, and them wondering why the fuck he left the school to Magneto, and then having Magneto show up while they're, like you said, and then another part I noticed was whenever Rogue wakes up again, it's Nightcrawler again there. Like, they're displaying the relationships between each character with Cable and Cyclops, and then Jean, and even Madeline, and fucking Sinister's fucking hunting Jean. Then you got, like I said when I was like, Logan, they're displaying he only wants to fight. Like, Logan is here, Wolverine is here for smoke. Like,
oh yeah.
And so I think it's so beautiful how every character and their relationship with each and every one is displayed and everything like that. Right. And then even till the end, it's just straight to the they break into two teams, the gold and blue team, and they get their new suits, which I thought were beautiful. I loved all the new suits. I still think some of them are going to get some upgrades heading into the next episode or maybe even the next season and everything like that. But the suits I saw were beautiful. Storm, beautiful fucking Logan suit, man. And so everything about that episode was just, like you said, the standard. It's what you do whenever you hire a writer, a director, a room of writers who actually care about a project, and then They put their all into it. Bo's up at 2 a.m. Watching his own shit, talking to fans, answering questions. Right. But I think just talking about what you said a little bit, the writing is amazing just in the sense that there's this internal war with the X-Men and the mutants, and then there's also the war with the mutants and fucking Bastion. And what we saw from Bastion is they don't really have an answer for him right now. I mean, unless it is what Magneto has planned, because from what we saw, we were talking about when is Storm going to do more, and then boom, she's fucking shot into the ocean or wherever body of water that is and everything. And so, I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see, even whenever Storm and Jean were talking, like they're the 2 Omega level having this conversation, like we can do this shit. Like, bro, everything about this shit is so good. And then we get to the final scene, fucking Magneto. Or no, I want to go back to what you said about fucking Rogue joining Magneto. And then, like I said, Sunspot, I assumed Sunspot was going to join just because he's having this shit with his family going on. His mom gave him up to the Sentinels right there, like, go with them. And so he honestly might have this hatred for humans right now, or even his family, he spites them. And so I knew as soon as Rogue went, I knew Sunspot was. I was kind of surprised nobody else did, and just seeing that they still have this team and everything. But I don't know. I cannot wait till next episode just because I feel like I could sit here and talk forever. Like, so much shit. I haven't even covered half the shit that happened in that episode, in the sense of, I hope Jean's not fucking dead. That's crazy of what they actually pulled out Cable's telekinetic power, and not just fucking. It'd be interesting to see what happens to Cable if the or what's it called, the technovirus or whatever starts taking over him or whatever, because he fucking started using his full power, or if Jean's alive, or if I still even question if Gambit's alive, you know? And so, but everything about it is beautiful. Dialogue.
It's a rumor that Gambit may be one of Gambit now may be one of Apocalypse's horsemen.
Yep. I heard that shit too. I just, but bro, it's like, I don't even know, because I feel like I haven't even talked about like so much shit that happened. Like the battle with Jean and fucking Sinister was beautiful.
No, I was just about to.
I like the way they animated Sinister's powers in this, and the way he moves and everything. Like that shit is so good to me.
I love the dialogue in every episode. The dialogue.
We haven't even talked about fucking Morph turning into Hulk. Yeah. We've seen Hulk now, and like you said earlier, we've seen some of these Avengers and stuff.
Yeah, seeing Sinister taunt Jean the entire time he's fighting her. He's, just telling her, I can tell you the moment I cloned you. Just all this kind of like just preying on Jean's emotions, preying on her memories. It was dope. The powers that he displayed was dope. It was, like I said, this episode is great. I do want to go back to what you said though about Storm. For those people that jumped on the video, and you might see this one, I don't know, that jumped on the video and said what you said 2-3 weeks ago about, don't woke it up, as no one was trying to do then, and as no one's doing now. But it is that same thing. We were told 3-4 weeks ago, why are you complaining? This is a great show. You've got so many more episodes left. It's only the 4th episode. Of course they're going to show up. Well, here we are about to dawn the 10th episode next week, and Storm did come back. She got shot out of the sky. I was expecting Storm when the dialogue between Jean and Storm went on, and she said, "Make them mind your weather, sister, and make them weather your mind." I was expecting her to go out there.
Level, like they even showed a little clip of, like, she's sitting there in the tornado, and then
I was expecting her to really bring an apocalypse.
I guess the writing. Yeah, I guess the writing in it, though, is... I said whenever fucking... You remember, I think it was episode 8 when all the Sentinels started coming out, and you said... You were like, where's Storm? And I was like, bro, Magneto and Storm could end this story instantly. Like, those are the two characters who could... Just because of their connection to the EMP system and everything like that. And so... I feel like that's just them writing, like, Forge having to be saved and everything like that was just... that's the way to get rid of Storm until the final episode.
But see, and I would agree. I could go with that. But even in comics, they find that's who these people are. That's their power set. I mean, so it's like then if you can't find a way to, and I'm using this with the Russos too, because this was also their thing with Hulk. Why they didn't make Hulk the way they wanted to make Hulk in Endgame and Infinity War, because they didn't know how to display his power set and make it fit. What do you mean? It's the source material is right there. The comic is the way they do it in the comic, the way that her power is displayed, and the way that you can do it the exact same way. Like, no. Her being gone, being absent, and I just wasn't I was expecting her this episode, and yes, I can.
But let me ask you,
that, there's this next
not to
episode.
cut you off, but I feel like that happens a lot on the screen, at least in cinema, when it comes to superheroes, and the superheroes that are OP in terms of writing, they're always nerfed. Like Hulk, fucking Doctor Strange isn't really who he is. I mean, Black Panther really wasn't who he, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all the strong ass Omega level talented ass heroes, they're always nerfed down to kind of fit the storyline. So why do you think that is? Like, even now we're seeing like Storm's being really nerfed down, taken out of the story, same way Hulk was in.
I don't know. I would just chalk it up to what the Russo said. I mean, people don't know how to, I guess, use them in the story, which is, I don't understand how you don't, but I don't know. I just was expecting more from her. Bishop's still not here.
Yep.
For those people that were also saying, oh, give him more time. Okay. Time given. Bishop's still not here.
I'm pretty sure Bo said Bishop won't be back.
Oh, I don't know if I didn't know.
That's why I said that earlier. Whenever I was like, I guess it was true that Bishop, because I'm pretty sure he said in a Twitter comment that he doesn't return this season.
Oh, okay. Well, then no more Bishop this season. And that's, I mean, there's got to be other seasons. I understand that and everything like that, but that's not the point. And that's for another conversation. I'm not getting to that right now, but that's not the point. So I was expecting more. So the conversation then was, oh, stop complaining. There's 5 more. There's 5 more episodes. Of course they're gonna show back up. Blah 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 blah. To now the conversation is, oh, stop complaining. They're gonna do more seasons. You're gonna see them. So which is it? Is it more episodes or more seasons when I'm gonna see them? So, but like I said, I still love this show. It's a fantastic fucking show. I think that Bo's writing is just genius, and this is just the standard.
Yeah, no.
This is the standard. So I thought that this was great. Of course, I know where he is. I know he's lost in time, but he's also lost off the screen. He's not on the screen. Like that's the point. The point is that he's not on the screen. Again, I'm not getting into that right now. That's a whole nother jar to open. But I think that this show is fucking great. No. Can't wait for episode 10.
I don't know. My ass don't even want to stop talking about the shit just because I know what I think we're going to get into next. In the sense of, I don't know. Final thoughts, I mean, just in the sense of what I haven't talked about. Love Morph turning into Sinister, trying to trick Bastion. Bastion realizes, and love that scene. I loved everything with Bastion. Him crying on his mother, telling it's finally quiet. Everything with Bastion is honestly, it's been good and everything. And so... end scene, I saw someone comment saying, Cleve said, I think Magneto is going to put the adamantium back into him. I don't think he is. I think with there being next seasons, I think we're going to see the storyline of him having the bones as claws and everything like that, and him living without the adamantium a little bit. But I don't know. I got to see what happens next week. There's so much shit. I got to rewatch the episode again. Like, there's so much shit to unpack to honestly see what could happen next week, but 10 out of 10 episode.
For sure.
Beautiful. We could sit here and talk about it all night, and I'm sure one day when it's not, we're kind of doing a late stream, I'm sure one day when we have a bunch of time, we will come in and just talk about the season as a whole and shit, but definitely can't wait till next week.
Yeah. Gonna definitely be, I'm wondering, too, how long it's going to be. Is it going to be the standard 23, or is it going to be a little bit longer since it's the finale? But they are saying that they don't want to wait on this, second season. This is this is coming from Daniel RPK, so it's grain of salt type of thing. But the rumor is they don't want to wait. They want to air the second season as soon as possible. So could be seeing that come up very soon. But
hopefully
that was a great episode. So that's our 97 review there of this episode. But to move to the main topic, last topic thing here is just that was this news here. So
the reason we're here tonight, and we talked about it earlier.
To be thinking about some of the things we were saying earlier about some of the things we were just saying earlier about Marvel wanting to move forward, exceeding expectations, being the underdog, being this, being that, and learning from the mistakes that they've made in the past. And then you get hit with news like this. Now, for me, this is coming from My Time to Shine. Hello, so you can take this with a grain of salt as well. This could not be true or anything like that. Now, I do strongly believe, obviously, this part here. Ryan Coogler has also officially signed on for Black Panther 3. Well, that makes all of the sense in the fucking world. Of course, he's got to somewhat end his trilogy of the morbid story that he started to tell in the second episode. So he's got to wrap that up.
Taika was back. Fucking
yeah.
Every trilogy director fucking comes back.
Yeah, so he's got to wrap that morbid story up. So that makes all the sense to me that he's coming back for Black Panther 3. And then also, if you were to, I'm not going to go down to that post, I want to leave it on this one. One of the scoopers also had tweeted out, and this was the Rejected Scoopers. They had tweeted out, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days ago, because they had reached their 3,000th subscriber, and at their 3,000th subscriber, they were going to give major scoops. And some of the scoops they gave, it was a lot of stuff, but one of them things was that Black Panther 3 would be taking place after Secret Wars. Marvel is going ahead with Black Panther 3 after Secret Wars. And again, this is something I have previously discussed when it came to Black Panther, when it comes to T'Challa, when it comes to him being in the MCU. I don't know if it's starting to click now. I don't know if people, and again, grain of salt, take it with a grain of salt. This could be very untrue. This could be, just clickbait. My time to I don't know. Her track record, though, she's had misses, but she's had some major hits as well when it comes to her scoop. So I don't know if it's clicking now, if people are starting to realize that T'Challa really is not coming back in the MCU. And again, this is not me going against the hashtag. This is not me going against the crowd, because I still stand tall with that crowd. I still use that hashtag. I still support the recasting of T'Challa as a whole. But I'm also, as I said in that last video, I'm a realist. I'm looking at things as they are, and I'm looking at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm looking at Ryan Coogler being attached to Black Panther 3. So again, I pose the question to you: if Ryan Coogler is directing, and I'm sure he is, Black Panther 3, why would he? The question I posed to you last week was, why would Marvel? But now the question is, why would the director, Ryan Coogler, undo everything he did in the second film, in the third film? That we're sitting here talking about plot holes and shit not making sense and blah, blah. Now, I could see where it would make sense. I know where it would make sense. Yeah, he was a Skrull. And maybe you find that out in the second one. The same way you found out that Rhodey was a Skrull in Secret Invasion. It's possible. That is a story going on within the MCU right now. But the story that they told in the second one was, no, your king died. Here's his bastard. That's where you move forward. The film that you were originally going to get, where it was going to be the two of them and T'Challa was going to be with his son, that's not happening. And again, I'll give you a little hope, I guess. Sure, why not? It is the multiversal saga. If let's play around and say, like I said in the last video, maybe he is a variant that shows up. Maybe T'Challa is a variant that does show up in the MCU throughout Secret Wars or from Secret Wars or something like that. And if the rumor is to believe that there are going to be several pieces of different worlds put together to make whatever this new sacred timeline universe is going to be moving forward, maybe a T'Challa from that universe stays, and maybe he goes to Wakanda because they're missing a king and he becomes king. But then again, that story, sure, writing, creativity, it's the MCU, it's fiction, you can make it work, sure, okay, you can. Then what about the kid? I mean, but then what is it? What is this? Does this kid then go and grow up with a father that he has no real relation to, and is that? I mean, what is that story? Is that a story that you would really want? this confused, is that, again, I think that still plays on the black, that plays on our culture, that plays on the some of the stories that we have within our community. When you do that, still you're having this person that's not this boy's father come in and play dad, and this confusion with all, like, who's your baby daddy, who's the dad, like that, and it's supposed to be this regal place. Wakanda's supposed to be this place of, for me, it doesn't work. For me personally, they have, and I'm gonna get to the X-Men stuff in just a second, but for me, it doesn't. There's no way to backpedal out of the BP franchise unless you seriously put the T'Challa back on his throne. So him doing Black Panther 3 does not surprise me. But what does surprise me is when Marvel comes in here and says, and again, rumor, grain of salt, that they're looking at Coogler for the X-Men. I asked it earlier, and I'm asking it again. I don't know what Bo did, because the fact that you're looking at Coogler, and this is just to direct, not to write or anything like that. This is to direct. But the fact that you're looking at Coogler over, like, a Bo DeMayo or someone like that, and yes, I know that he's the writer, not the director.
Anyone newer who could show they give a fuck about
But it does make sense, though, for them to pick Coogler, because, as I've said before, Coogler's their token. He's their token. He's that token black guy that we can go to, that we as Marvel, we as a studio can say, we've got this nigga here in our pocket. So anytime that there's some nigga shit to make these niggas be quiet, we're going to take him out, put him at the front and say, here, niggas, tap dance.
I was about to say, take that nigga out, tell him put his shoes on.
Walk
his ass out there and dance.
That's what it is. And for me, it doesn't, again, I think what makes X-Men so great is Bo said this when he was, answering some people. He said, go too far pushing your vision. The characters cease to be themselves. Oh, my God. Is that shocking to anybody? Is that news? Then he goes on to say, don't go far enough. You're just playing karaoke with the comics. I don't know what this nigga did. God, I don't know what he did, but that is the standard for me.
It's like you can tell some of his dialogue in 97.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he has some good-ass fucking public speaking.
Yes.
Like, he knows how to speak. Like, you can tell. And I don't want to cut you off. I don't know if you're done or anything, so go ahead if you still had more shit to say.
Well, no, you're fine. I'm summing it up here. I just, again, when you have people like this that are, when he says go too far pushing your vision, then the character ceases to be themselves. Well, we saw Coogler's vision, did we not? The character not only ceased to be himself, he ceased to exist. So we saw Coogler's vision. I don't want to see a Coogler vision for the X-Men. The most diverse group in Marvel, and you want to put a nigga that can't even handle his own culture stories correctly? You want to put him on the most diverse group in Marvel? That doesn't work for me. And the reason it doesn't work is because I've watched Coogler's work. I'm not saying he's a bad director. I think he's a good director. I think Coogler is innovative. I think some things he comes up with is great, but I think that he hinders himself with some of the stories, this black trauma that he's obsessed with, this black death he's obsessed with. It was not necessary, despite what you may think of the film, to kill the Queen Mother in Wakanda Forever. You already killed the king, but then you thought, let's double down on that shit. Let's kill his mama too. And hell, if I could kill his sister and the whole continent, I'd do that shit too. But no, we took a different direction. I saw some people saying, well, he's already got some experience with mutants. If you thought what he did with Namor was great, God bless you and kudos. That's fantastic. I'm glad you had fun. I don't think that him doing what he did with Namor then gives him the resume to go and tackle the mutants. That no, because you got, and I said this earlier, and I'm done. I have other things I want to say, but I'm going to say them after Q gives his spill too. I don't want to go. But I could, yeah, sure, let's put him on the X-Men, and yeah, the black mutants like Frenzy and Maggot and Darwin and all the others. Sure, we'd see him briefly.
See him struggle.
Yeah, we'd see him struggle. It'd be some type of brief struggle before death. there would be some type of something on screen where it'd be like, oh, that's their motivation.
Oh my God,
there it is, right
the first
there.
time ever, there's Black Genosha.
There they are. You're going to see the black mutants. But those black mutants that you're going to see in that film is going to motivate the main mutants to accomplish whatever they fucking have, whatever they're trying to accomplish in the film. So their deaths will then motivate them because that's the formula.
Oh my God, dude, there's Black Genosha. Charles, you gotta save this shit.
That's Coogler's formula. So I'm not for this. I'm not him being black on the Black Panther 3 again. Fine. What the fuck ever. As I already told you, I'm done with that franchise within the MCU anyway. So he can have that. You take your fucked up, morbid, tainted franchise with that bastard kid and make whatever fucking go-lucky goddamn movie and not Wakanda you want to make. Sure. Whatever. But the X-Men, keep this nigga away from them. He's already tainted enough. But I have more. But go ahead.
When I told you the first time I was reading this on the way over here earlier to watch 97, and I was, you know that meme where that nigga's like, brother, brother, I do not want that shit, bro. Like, I don't think anyone expected anyone else to direct Black Panther 3 because, like I said, Taika came back. I mean, like you said, he's got to finish this trope story. But, man, when it speaks to Black Panther 3, every time I think about it more and more, I can't help but think how much Boseman really might have fucking meant to Marvel. Because, man, Black Panther 1 wouldn't have made $1 billion I personally think, if any other black actor was in that costume. I think the way Boseman changed things around set from the stuff we've heard about the British accents and the people who were going to be there and how Wakanda was going to look, I think the way he changed the history of what we saw in Black Panther 1, and I think them niggas really fucking, like, put him on that pedestal of, like, Chadwick Boseman / Black Panther. Like, they don't see the 42s. They don't see the other movies he's acted in or anything. Like, and I don't know why, because beautiful actor, like so many fucking great movies and shows. And so Chadwick might have meant so much to them, but that just catapults me into my next topic of, I don't even know why Ryan would want to fucking work on anything Black Panther. Like, me, if someone I loved that much died this way and then I put it into a story and then years later after Secret Wars is when? 2026 or whenever I don't think it's going to come out next year, genuinely. No. So I'm thinking 2020. We talked about it, 2026, 2027, late 26, early 27. So I don't know why so many years later you want to keep being brought into this story that you just have to think about something that meant so much to you that I'd understand if you could get over it. But I genuinely don't think he can get over it. I don't think he's gotten over it. I think anytime he's going to be brought back into this, it's going to be another, like you said. I mean, even going back to his last project, which I think is Creed. I don't know if he's came out with anything since Creed or...
No, the next thing is that vampire film.
Fucking Creed was Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan black story. Nigga gets locked up when they were kids, and then the whole story, him fighting from it's just another black story. And so, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I hate to say it. Y'all can go back and watch any stream. I've said it. I don't have any hope. I mean, I love what we got in fucking Civil War. I love Black Panther 1. The last Black Panther was shit. I mean, that's just at the end of the day, or fucking repeating the record and everything like that. But I don't want to talk too much about because we talk about Black Panther all year, and so we honestly expected this. We're gonna get more news on Black Panther 3, but the X-Men thing, when I saw that, holy shit! I almost threw up. I gagged. I was like, bro, please, for the love of God, do not. After what I've watched with 97, do not put this nigga at the helm of the X-Men, simply because This was the first thing I said to you, bro. That Storm storyline killed, bro. Storm is not going to be shit if he is directing the X-Men. And I know that because what he's done to T'Challa, with all the T'Challa and Storm storyline connecting, and he's wanting to tell this story, or I don't know if he wants to tell it, but catapult this T'Challa, his son, into it. He's not thinking about this Storm T'Challa story. He's not thinking about Storm. He's thinking about everything with Black Panther. And so I don't get how you could have him coming off this trope of a storyline, writing so much, and then put him at the helm of something that means I said I was gonna post it on Instagram. I held back because I didn't even want to say it. But if you put him at the helm of X-Men, the MCU's over. I genuinely believe the X-Men will.
The
I think
X-Men are make or break.
That's
sure.
what I was gonna say. The X-Men, Fantastic Four, everything we've got with Fantastic Four has been good news. If you don't like what you've seen about the Fantastic Four, it's kind of opinion. Nothing about it has been horrible that we've seen. You know, like when we see something like this is a collective consensus of no. Like,
oh no,
we don't want this. Like, I haven't seen a comment that's been like, oh yes, fucking Ryan Coogler's about to direct X-Men, nigga, let's fucking go. Like, I was looking on Twitter, didn't see a single comment that was like, I'm kind of excited for this. You could see that with the Sam Raimi after coming off Multiverse of Madness. Some of them are like, no. Some of them are like, yes. Do we want him in 3? But based off what Coogler's just told, let him have... I mean, do we want him telling Black Panther? No. Genuinely, I don't think any of us do. But do we want him telling the X-Men stories? Fuck no, bro. Like...
Yeah, no.
I just couldn't... I couldn't see him being able to handle what we talk about in 97, so many relationships and tones and personalities between different characters, and the way Cyclops acts with fucking Professor versus... There's so many way the same character acts and I don't think he'd be able to handle the mutant race and what the mutant race does with the human race against their own race. I don't think he'd be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna post and say, if he's directing X-Men, I give up. Like,
yeah,
we keep talking about this new future, hope this, hope that. I don't want whatever he's gonna put on screen about the X-Men. Genuinely. I'm sorry to be the nigga that's like, man, at least give him a no. I don't want that nigga to have a chance with the X-Men. That's like, no, bro.
Yeah, no, Coogler's not that guy. And I've said this many times. I've said that line many times on other topics. Coogler's not that guy. He's not that guy for this. Does he even know? What does he know about the X-Men? Because, with the changes made in the Black Panther, it was kind of obvious he didn't know much about that going into that franchise.
I was going to say, let's start off with Black Panther 1. Is any of that even... it made $1 billion. That's why I didn't want to hate on it, because it made $1 billion. It's good.
There's a lot that's
Is there anything in that movie that's really comic accurate in the sense of plot and storytelling? Because they had to change everything up with the second one because of his death. But where he was originally going, like... M'Baku is villain, fucking... Killmonger fighting it. It started off as a fucking black trope story.
Yeah, the first one is. I mean, like I said, Coogler's just not that guy. He is not that guy to do the Black Panther franchise or X-Men. Like at all. He's not that guy. And to take it back to what you said there about the whole, still grieving thing. That is true too. With him still grieving.
And that's real too. I don't want to hate on him. That's some real shit. Like,
yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. And I've said this many times. In my opinion, grief doesn't have an expiration date. You can't put an expiration date on someone's grief. So him grieving, that is his business. That's not for me to sit and dissect or say it's fake or whatever. So him still grieving, that's again his business. But if you are still grieving, like I said for Never, if you were grieving at that time and you couldn't see yourself, because I think one of the quotes he said during that time was, they can't see anybody else as T'Challa. because of how close they were with Chad, well, then you need to exit from the project. And I say that same thing for 3. If you are still grieving around this time, and again, you have the right to, then you don't need to attach yourself to this, because all those old feelings, and I've said this before too. I've said, and again, I don't give a fuck if you agree with me or not, Coogler needs to go. The entire cast needs to go because of their connection to Chad. So I don't think any of them should have any parts of Black Panther 3. I think the whole franchise, with your soft reboot, if that's real, needs to be rebooted. Let Wakanda in the whatever in our universe go, because you've ruined this, and I would hate for that to happen to the X-Men.
I said the MCU we know, if Coogler gets the X-Men, the words I typed were like completely ruined, tarnished, shitted on. Yeah. I was like, if I can think of any other words, I'll let y'all know. But man, it's just, and I think that goes to speaking anything in real life too. If you're doing everything based off of emotions, and like you're kind of in a place of trauma after something happened in your life and everything, and you're just not in the best of emotions, and then start basing shit off emotions and shit, that's what we get. And so I know we're not in comments right now, but Cornelius said, I think we overlooked the issues in BP1 because we were excited and because we assumed it would get better. Yet it got worse. And so I completely agree. And it even makes me think, even let's say Chad wouldn't have passed, how would BP2 have been better in terms of plot, storyline? It's like, let's just putting T'Challa's death aside and everything, or Boseman's death aside, like, has Coogler been directing a good plot with this franchise?
No. The difference is with that second one, he had, like on the first one, he had Chad there writing, from what we know from all those days, that Chad had read the final script, but was also, they were things that he wanted to change from, so it really would have just depended on Chad and what he wanted moving forward with this franchise, I guess, juxtaposed to what Coogler wanted to move forward with this franchise. But now that, that's all gone and we're just stuck with whatever the future is, as I've said before, I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover all the news, but will I be seated down watching? No, I won't be watching Black Panther 3 at all. The Eyes of Wakanda series, I won't be. That's not something I'll be covering.
I don't think petitions work, but I would wholeheartedly endorse one if this nigga got signed to direct the X-Men, bro. We could not let that shit happen, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to hate on a nigga. Like, I'm a hating ass nigga. I'll tell you when I'm trying to hate on someone and when I don't. This isn't a dislike for Coogler at all. As much as I'm sitting here and it kind of sounds like I'm speaking down on him, and I genuinely don't like what he's done with this franchise. I think we could have seen a lot better in terms of the first movie made $1 billion, so that just speaks to how excited not even just the black community, us as a community, were to see it, but kind of the whole world. It was something new. You could go ask white people, and that's kind of the first time they'd ever seen a black king character on screen helming his own throne. Is the main subject of his movie, and everything around it centered around black culture and stuff like that. And so just imagining what we could have gotten if fucking Nate Moore wasn't attached to anything, saying they hire people who don't read about comics. And imagine if everyone was like Boseman in terms of going back and reading some of the comics and studying their characters. And I don't know, man. It's just, we could have got so much more with this franchise. And I just want to say, I don't dislike Coogler. I don't hate. This isn't me personally. I feel bad every time we talk about this because it sucks to like attack him because he's the head of this and everything. But I don't dislike him or anything. But man, I really just don't enjoy what he's done with this franchise. So I'd have to co-sign the fact that I'm not interested in anything Black Panther 3. I'm not interested in anything Ryan Coogler Marvel. Hell, I may go watch the little vampire movie he got. I don't know. I may watch it at home. I may go watch it if I'm bored. But anything Marvel he's attached to, I'm even kind of hard Nate Moore being attached to Captain America 4 to have hope for that. So anything them two are attached to, I don't know. I've kind of, even some of, like you said, some of the actors connected with Chad shouldn't, like, even knowing Letitia's Black Panther, everything that went on with her, she wanted to quit. And just knowing people aren't fully endorsed or, like, invested into their roles, I don't know how that makes me feel.
Yeah. No, I said I could give a shit about this franchise. But this is what people had to say from Fandom Wire, what they said about some of the mixed reactions, I guess, that were on Twitter for the announcement. They said fans have been patiently waiting for the entry of the X-Men ever since Robert Downey Jr. first put on the Iron Man suit, while the Avengers have become more widely known through the MCU in a time before the superhero world was dominated by mutants and Charles Xavier's team was right in the middle of it. Fans have been waiting for a formal entry of the characters in the main franchise for 16 years. While the characters are making their way into the universe bit by bit, the X-Men film, which is inevitable, will carve their presence in stone. It was recently reported by My Time to Shine Hello on Twitter that Marvel Studios already has their eye on one director to head this important project. It would seem that on top of being signed for the Black Panther 3, Marvel apparently wants Ryan Coogler to also head the mutant film. Not only could this news confirm that the movie is already being worked on, but it could also imply that one of the best directors in the franchise's history, Lord, that's the thing too.
Oh my goodness. Bro, I was about to say, you reading this kind of pisses me off.
It's kind of like, I'm looking at this as a basketball fan too. It's kind of like when people call Steve Kerr one of the greatest coaches of all time. No, Steve Kerr is not one of the greatest coaches of all time. And for my non-basketball fans that don't know who Steve Kerr is, Steve Kerr coaches the Golden State Warriors. Golden State, as you all know, had their
Bob Myers
run.
Built one of the best dynasties that
Bob
NBA's
Myers
ever
built
seen.
one of the best dynasties that the NBA ever saw. It was, Clay, if you know, Clay, Steph, everybody over there. KD, Dre. So when people say, oh my God, Steve Kerr is such a talented coach. He's one of the great. No, he's not. He had some of the most talented niggas. Yeah, he was just there. So when you say that he's one of the most talented directors within the franchise, because he
First movie he was there.
Yeah,
that's why I made a bill
because he made that
Boseman
1.3 billion. Exactly,
we saw what he did.
That's it. It's not that he was one of the greatest directors.
Like even saying that pisses me off. Saying like he 2 movies and he's only done those 2, right? He hasn't.
No, he's only done
the greatest,
those 2.
Like $1 billion movie, bro. Like, and then you're saying he's the greatest.
But see, that's why they're saying that, because he gave Marvel their first billion. But it wasn't. But what people fail to realize is it wasn't Coogler. The character of T'Challa gave Marvel their first billion. Yes, there were supporting characters, and you can listen to Chad talk about this himself. Yes, there are supporting characters, but at the end of the day, he is the lead. That's what people were there for. When the lead was absent, you didn't get that 1.3 billion. So to call him one of the best directors in the franchise's history, we are reaching again. Then he goes on to say, considering just how big the news is, it is not surprising that fans are having mixed reactions. Fans are skeptical about the rumor. Since the rumor started to make its rounds around the internet, fans have had a variety of reactions. Many were more than thrilled and excited that Ryan Coogler could potentially be heading one of the most anticipated films in the history of the MCU. They wondered about the possibilities and the directions that it could be taken, specifically thinking about Storm's character. Of course you're thinking about Storm's character because you watched him murder one of the other prominent black characters in the MCU.
Y'all, he's
of course
thinking about killing this bitch, bro. I'm telling you. As soon as I read this shit, I felt so bad for whoever gets casted as Storm. I felt bad as us as a community that cares about Storm, because if this shit is true, I just want to be the one to say it now so I can go back if all this happened and say I told you so.
Oh yeah, it's true.
We're gonna hate Storm.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be. That's
and
exactly
it sucks
how it's
to
going
say.
to be.
Well, we're not gonna hate Storm. We're gonna hate what they're doing with Storm. Let me say that, because I hate to say that we're gonna hate any actor they cast or anything, but
right.
Holy none of this sounds good at all.
No. He goes on to say they were very sure that the director would do an excellent job with her. Oh, Jesus Christ. They were very sure that the director would do an excellent job with her. Well, yeah, sure. Okay, he murdered her husband, so let's go on ahead and are we killing the family off one by one? How are we doing this? Like, did she know T'Challa previously? Yeah, so I'm confused. Like, okay. I want to know where the train of thought comes from thinking that he would do an excellent job with her.
Thank you,
what
Cornelia,
makes
because
you
she's
think
black.
Oh,
that's
gosh.
why white people it's related to this black character.
Tap dance, nigga.
Cornelius, yes, that is exactly why they
every
think
time there's a black issue or something like that, you got to bring out Nate. Or if it's a black film with black characters, you got to bring out Ryan.
Yep.
That's it. Those are your tokens. That's it. These are the reactions from people.
Darius said he even looks sad.
He looks depressed in this picture. He looks like, I'm about to fuck this shit up. In this picture, he looks like he's telling you in this picture, what I'm about to do to Storm is going to trump what I did to T'Challa. I'm telling you.
That nigga like, man, these niggas have no idea.
I'm telling you, it just.
These niggas have no idea the catastrophes that take place in my mind.
This person said, Storm fan 40. If Coogler makes Storm anything like Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda, then I'll be satisfied with whatever direction they take with the X-Men. And I just want them to get Storm right.
It wasn't Coogler.
Yeah, that was just purely Angela Bassett. So yeah, that's the pure, literal goddess that Angela is.
That's top 5
top
woman actor.
Yeah, she's fucking Ryan Kumar said people undermine how truly gifted he is. World building. He made Wakanda look more impressive than the world in Star Wars, bro. Okay. Okay, I don't know why the fucking pod track went off, but whatever.
Said Disney.
Yeah, Disney definitely muted that shit. But as I was saying,
nigga want to make sure he back.
I'm trying to remember where I was. Oh yes, I've seen phenomenal thing. I saw phenomenal things in Star Wars, but when I saw the world of Wakanda for the first time on the big screen, that was amazing. It was something that was crazy. But to say that was, again, building this world, how hard is that? He just took the panel and boom.
Yeah.
I mean, let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
Well, when you say he made it look more immersive in the world of Star Wars, that was world building. Star Wars is world building. George took a concept that was never thought of and built an entire fucking galaxy, multiple galaxies out of that. This is what Ryan did. That's not the same. I don't know that I would have used that comparison.
And I mean, looks also nothing to do with storyline and plot. Because I just want to say, just based off this comment, what we saw in the Batman, I think we both sat there and said this is one of the best comic booky looking movies. But I don't think you rewatched it and said it was boring. It's long. It's boring. The looks of a movie truly have nothing to do with how timeless it is or how good it is or the rewatchability, I think Multiverse of Madness has some beautiful scenes, but I've not revisited it or anything, so I don't know. I just think that looking at fucking scenery, we're in 2024, bro. If you can't put a fucking good movie that looks good on cinema, that's honestly, that's nothing to do with directors. That's VFX and fucking. That's nothing to do with Coogler, honestly. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, like
that's what I said. I don't know why. That wasn't a good comparison. This person said, it'd be okay, but not my first choice. Someone said, man, bring back the Russo brothers. I second that. Just bring back the fucking Russos.
From what I saw, do they want to come back?
I don't know what they want to do.
I'm gonna say it looks like they're just chilling. happy they did Endgame.
Then it sums it up just saying, some were worried about the director leaving the film and it also being doomed. Others thought that the other directors were more qualified for the job. The Russo brothers are two directors Marvel fans always turn to in their time of need, and this was no different. Regardless, it is safe to assume that Marvel is not fooling around anymore and is making very calculated decisions. Okay, I don't know about that one, but again, just know. Just know he doesn't need to be a part of this film or any type of films with Marvel, as I've said before.
And there's been so many comments, so I'm telling you all now, I doubt we can get to all of them. But I've been reading them as we've been going along, and I love to see that like all of y'all are completely in agreement. Like, if any of y'all do think Ryan should be at the helm of anything, I'd love to hear why or anything, because I love to hear other sides art, but I just don't see anyone. I mean, even like Twitter comments, none of them really provided solid reasons, but I couldn't think of a good reason as to why anyone at Marvel would think put him at the helm of it. I get Black Panther. You know, he's got to finish that sad little story. I would hate if he's doing anything after a trilogy, but you know, it's his story. He probably is. Like we've talked about, he's their little token. So it's easy to keep him around, honestly. I mean, and so, I don't know. It's just, I don't know how anyone could look at him and be like, let's put him at the helm of one of the most, not even one of the most important project of our cinema careers. Like, there's nothing. Fantastic Four, yeah, debatable. But X-Men, the mutants as a whole, as a race, there's so many critical storytelling points in that I just, man, I've said it over and over, but I'm genuinely not comfortable with Coogler being the helm of that. So
no, yeah.
You know, I'm not a praying man, but I might send a few prayers that Coogler doesn't get that job. Like I said, not to hate on a nigga. I know we talk a lot about lifting each other up, and I'd love to lift him up outside of the MCU, but comic book wise, keep those little black stories in Creed movies and shit, bro. Like, I don't want that shit in what I want in superhero movies and shit like that. Like, niggas supposed to be saving the world. Instead, we watching funerals.
Yeah, that's really the conversation.
Not one. Like you said, I completely forgot about this movie, and so I forgot the fact that Ramonda's dead. Like, I fucking... Sure, he got stabbed at the end by Namor, in my opinion, should have died. Like, got fucking stabbed into a rock, and so, just because they wanted... So I don't even know, bro. I'm not... Like you've said, you're not too invested in it. I'm not really too invested in it. I mean... I think the main point just sucks that we've got to potentially look into him being at the point of X-Men. That's not who I wanted the first name to drop to be.
No. Yeah, I don't...
I mean, I guess if there is a question, do you have anyone that you'd like to direct X-Men, or just...
I don't. I mean, outside of the Russos, I don't have anybody that I would just really pin on them right now.
I just think something so dense like the X-Men takes so many people. I think that's hard to pin something on. Even if you are the director, kind of how Bo and he has his team, you know, like, this is going to take a whole team to do. Like, there's such a dense...
If you ask me who I don't know who I don't know who I'd pin to direct it. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that, or when I say I don't know what Bo did, but bring him back, I say that with the... with the hesitation also of I don't know what
shit.
he did. I don't know what this man did. So if it's something atrocious, okay, cool, then he doesn't need to come back. If it's something as minor as the rumor that we heard, he's just difficult to work with. Well, you should get over that difficulty. And the reason I say that is because I personally, just of what I've seen from 97, I want Bo writing on the film. I want him and whatever team he's got to be the team that just gets pushed over to the film. And whoever you have directing it under, above him, cool. But he needs to be the writer for the film. That
I wish he could just be the head of X-Men.
Yeah,
Like,
and then maybe whoever you've had directing some of these episodes, maybe bring some of those directors together, or I don't know, but you don't. That article said 16 years, and it has been 16 years in the making of waiting for the X-Men. You don't want to squander this 16 years. You don't want to have, the first film come out and it's like, damn, we waited 16 years for that.
Man, I mean, at the point it comes out, it's what, 17, 18 years? 20, maybe? We'll get in the next two, probably.
They're trying to fast track that film.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
2-3 years, probably.
And, with the rumor that the film is...
Is that one of the ones that's before Secret Wars?
It's supposed to be before Secret Wars.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they did fast track it to before.
Yeah, it's before Secret Wars, and it's going to be the different universe. The universe that Monica's in currently. So, I don't know how they bring it all together. I guess just like the Fantastic Four universe probably gets destroyed, Incursion or something like that. I guess that's also where the rumors of the Avengers versus X-Men are coming in.
Man, thank you, Gret. He fucked up $1 billion character, and they want to give him X-Men.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Great point.
So it's crazy. But that's the latest on some of the Black Panther and Ryan news as far as X-Men go. But anytime we talk about Ryan, it's always going to take us back to that Black Panther conversation. I think it really just sums it up with what Gray just said, and I really think that kind of sums it all up. Just you fucked up $1 billion character, and now you're about to trust him with the X-Men, or you're trying to trust him with the X-Men. So I completely agree. It doesn't bode well for the future of the X-Men if this man is attached. As far as the Black Panther franchise goes, as I've said, that's DOA. That's dead on arrival. That film's it's dead. I don't care what anybody says. And, as we get closer to those days, if, the conversation comes, the conversations are going to roll around. People are going to say, oh, no, you guys are just hating because, you're in your feelings or whatever. I have pinned certain conversations on Twitter that I'm going to revisit in the future because I want to revisit those people and say, what were we talking about?
Oh, I love being right.
Yeah. So,
I love being right.
So, but that is that on the Coogler thing. We can touch on some of those comments. If you've had anything that you want to say that maybe is at the top that you would like to put at the bottom to be seen, that we can address, please do so.
I was going to say, before I even get into comments, there's been like 45 to 55 people watching the whole stream. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all being here. Like, every time I think of shit like this, we're in a small-ass room studio that you probably couldn't even fit 40 people in. And so just think about we're actually talking to all y'all and everything. We definitely don't take lightly or anything. We definitely appreciate, like, we're fucking 50 away from 2,000, so hopefully all y'all can, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that like button, And so let's see what comments I want to get into. But yeah, appreciate all y'all being here tonight. I know this is a little bit of a later stream too, so. As Jazz said, does anyone really think Captain Falcon is beating Red Hulk?
No one thinks that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think anyone in the world thinks that.
Yeah, no one thinks that. That's as we've talked about the Captain America stuff coming up with that film. If I don't understand how the rumor is he's building some small Avengers team. There's going to be a small Avengers team in that film. It better be one hell of a team. If this is not a nerfed Red Hulk, it better be one hell of a team.
Diesel say, contrary to fan belief, Black Panther Wakanda Forever did not make a profit. So.
Oh yeah, no. The internet will tell you. The Twitter will tell you.
Yeah, they
lies.
They don't know how to fucking look at box office numbers and what goes into that and shit like that, man.
Yeah, Twitter will try to make you believe that shit did exactly what Marvel wanted it to do.
Yeah, no. The Raptor, I've said this too. Raptor said, and even without Coogler, we got Nate Moore working in Captain Falcon and itching to kill probably Isaiah in that movie.
Wouldn't doubt it if he does die.
We know Sam's going to struggle.
He said itching to kill.
What did
Isaiah.
that new quote that come out say about the action in that movie? That it's some action we've never seen because it's real. Sam's a real person. And he can really bleed. I was like, well, that's telling us Sam's going to get his ass kicked.
I'm sure he is going to get his ass kicked.
I don't know if you saw that quote, but there was like, the action in it is a lot more exciting.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, they're like, the action is a lot more exciting because Sam's a real person that can really bleed and really hurt. I was like, bro, that is like telling us he's going to get his ass kicked. Like,
yeah, he's going to get his ass kicked.
Stamina said, Ryan Coogler should direct Speed 3. Bomb on a bus scenario kind of plays to his strengths. Nothing else. Thanks. RW said, Chidown said, Cyclops better be the real leader in this movie. Storm should be a strong second in command since she's the team co-captain of the X-Men.
I agree with that, too.
Gray said, it's plot. It always comes down to the plot. It does. The story.
That story, that's again, I just trust Bo. I do. He has not let us down in 10 episodes, bro. 10 episodes, again, that you have to remember are not 30 to 45-minute episodes. Some of these episodes, not including the credits or including the credits in the intro and the previously on, are only 23 minutes long. And they're telling that much story and grappling your emotions in that much time. That's, imagine what he could do in a 2.5 hour. Yikes. He knows this shit, though. That's the difference. I look at Bo the way I look at Dave over at Star Wars. Dave knows Star Wars. Bo knows the X-Men. I wouldn't want Dave doing anything other at anything else at Star Wars than what he's doing. And the same thing with Bo. I want him on the X-Men.
So Raymond said, I mean, royally screwed this up. Why don't people want other directors? To which Stamina said, they don't know other ones. It's the same way folks want Michael B. to be in everything ever because they know so few black actors to name check.
Yeah, he's the token. There's always, it's always those ones that they just know.
Stamina said they look for a movie equals the director said yes to a bunch of creative people's ideas, then let the cinematographer get to work. Bunch of comments on. Let me see if I can scroll up and find any more. RW Chi-Town said, "What is officially canceled by Marvel as of future projects?"
What is officially canceled?
Yes.
I don't believe we know anything that's officially canceled as of now. Things that we thought were canceled are still on. I thought Wonder Man was canceled. It's still on. Vision Quest I thought was canceled. It's still on. I don't think anything has been announced as officially canceled, just had some delays as of now.
Raymond said, I'm still mad they killed half the cast of Black Panther, and yet people think it's their top franchise. The downtrend from BP to Wakanda Forever needs to be studied and made into a documentary.
No. Yeah.
SJDX said, I mean, X-Men leans more into Coogler's American social commentary. He has no understanding of Afrofuturism.
No.
Couple more. Let's see. Not Again said Steve
That's
coached.
true.
Or Not Again said Steve coached his team right out of the play, and he's a shadow. Mark Jackson is the true coach that built the Warriors up. No, yeah, Mark Jackson started that shit. I mean, and then Mike Brown really shouldn't be in Sacramento right now, but that's for another video.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. That don't take me down that road with
Mike Brown coaching in Sacramento when he should be in Golden State. Down the street.
One thing I'm gonna say. You look at when Mike Brown was there, when Kerr had his back issues. Nigga, they didn't. okay.
I don't think
they
we
didn't
lost.
lose a game.
I was about to say, yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But the game Kerr came back, we lost. So I'm just like,
that should be the first sign.
There's got to be
we know your back's hurting you, man.
Because I remember I said that game. It comes in my snap memories all the time. I'm yelling at the TV saying, somebody kick that nigga in the back. Get him out of the...
I'm pretty sure we have shit saved in our chat just for me laughing at it and saving it in there. It's like, bro, the KD shit where you're like, fucking lazy. That shit kills me every time I think of it.
Oh, man.
Cornelius said, Coogler got carried by the costume designer and fan excitement. 100%.
Yeah.
The cinema team, too. I mean, the movie was beautiful, don't get me wrong. As JX said, a recast alone is not good enough in my opinion. I'm not coming back for another watered down T'Challa, especially an arc ripping if Hickman's time runs out. It needs edge and super genius.
Yep. I'm not gonna get that. It'll be Suri.
And then a couple more. SP said, apparently T'Challa will be in Secret Wars according to one of the scoopers, but we didn't know which T'Challa it would be and how long he'll be in the movie.
Really? Apparently, so one of the scoopers says T'Challa's going to be in Secret Wars. And I've, and again, grain of salt type of stuff. But as I've said before, if you do see a T'Challa, and I've put a very big if on that, if you do see a T'Challa, it would be in a Secret Wars setting. But as I've said too, I think it would be as quick as here he is, and there he goes. And then that would be.
I was going to say, the only real thing I'd believe is if I seen him in Fantastic Four, the 60s version, and they took him to another universe and put him on an Illuminati team or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe
the storyline of Black Panther on the MCU Earth or whatever. I don't even know what to call it no more. 616, or I'm not saying all that 199 shit, so I'm just going to call this shit Earth MCU. Like, I don't know what the fuck the story is there.
Yeah.
Damn, I lost my place. I was going to read that one. Yeah, no, D. Steele said, like the Cap films, BP2 should have got that Winter Soldier treatment. Yep. Should have gotten fucking the best directors you could to just tell the best story you could after what situation you were put in.
I agree.
Stamina said, in Ryan's X-Men, Professor X gets a serious head injury in Act 1 that renders him unable to use his powers. He's literally just a dude on wheels for the film. Bunch of hate on Coogler. Yeah, no, nobody wants Coogler with X-Men. Nope.
Next season, RW Chi-Town, I think we're going to see Apocalypse, probably some hints at him in this final episode, and then probably this next season.
I was going to say, do you see any that you want to read or anything? Raptor said, Wonder Man's still a thing. Damn, Yaya should have been Blue Marvel or Night Thrasher instead.
I do see one says, Flint Fanatics, I'm expecting T'Challa to cameo in last episode of X-Men 97, like the quick Spider-Man cameo. Well, Bo didn't really answer my question when I asked him that. He just said, ain't that something?
But I really hope.
Maybe we might see him in the...
I hope, like, Storm does some shit coming out the water that causes T'Challa to, like, just do some shit. And even if it is just for a second for him to, like, look around.
If they're if they're doing the same storyline from the original series, T'Challa was in that episode in Season 5, watching... Season 5, I think it's so. I can't remember.
I need to go back and rewatch some of those. At least the ones that he's saying he's connected to, because he's connecting a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know how, until we started progressing farther along into the season, he's connecting a lot of these episodes.
Yeah.
And then Eon also said Blue Marvel and Brother Voodoo are just sitting on the bench. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, these are people that they're not trying to use, that probably aren't going to get used. I just, like I said, just looking at it, within this current saga, I don't expect to see a Blue Marvel or a Brother Voodoo or anybody like that. Now, maybe after the multiversal saga, if they decide I don't know. I mean, they did buy the rights to the Eternity saga, so if they decide to do that, I don't know. Maybe you might see those characters. Maybe. I mean, I just don't think that they see or view any of those characters as top priority or anything like that. I don't see it. see it. So, but we'll have to see what is going to happen in Falcon, the Captain America 4, and
that shit makes me laugh. Niggas calling him Captain Falcon. Niggas don't even want to call him Captain America.
We'll have to wait to see what happens in that film. Again, for me, as I've said, I don't think it's Captain America. It's not Sam Wilson. I don't think Anthony Mackie has the star power to command a box office draw that Marvel's wanting. I don't think he has that star power. I know he doesn't have that star power. He is so much better on your left, and I don't dislike Sam Wilson. It's because Anthony Mackie's acting, that's another topic. But I think that Anthony Mackie, from the moments that he does play Falcon in the MCU, there are moments I do like of him as Falcon in the MCU. The whole, you're not going to ask him why he runs around like a cat conversation with T'Challa in Civil War. Damn, that might be it. But I don't, like I said, I don't dislike Sam. Or this, can you scoot up? No. The whole that, there's things with Sam I do like. But I don't think Anthony Mackie is that box office draw. That's where they're going to fail. Now, maybe Harrison Ford is that box office draw for them with him being Red Hulk. Maybe that can garner enough. But as far as like people being interested in Sam Wilson's Captain America, I guess we'll have to wait to see as that time gets closer, as conversation goes. We'll have to see if people are talking about it, and you can't. And on this last thing I'm saying, because we're done with our topics here for the night, but this last thing I'm saying on this, as far as people talking about it, can't sit and say, well, that can't be the judge or based off of it. Oh, but it can. Look at X-Men '97. You have to dodge spoilers at 2 a.m. 3 a.m., 4 a.m. People are on Twitter talking about it.
If Ricardo's still in here, he texts me every day when I wake up that he's watching this shit. I'm like, bro, I have to head to Darius' house to react to it, so don't spoil that shit yet. So even I know he's not the only one up before me and us watching that shit, and so that even speaks to it, because we'd be some of the first people to fucking watch. Yeah,
there's people like what they're watching, so we'll have to wait to see what the conversation is online.
Said banking on Harrison Ford is not gonna hold you.
No, it's not. And Jen, just like Gray said, he wasn't in this latest indie movie. He didn't. It wasn't what was it, Dial of Destiny or whatever? That didn't do great.
I was about to say, that shit was
at all.
I'm gonna say it.
At all. So
I hate this stream at night.
I don't know. So, but I do appreciate everybody being here tonight.
Not genuinely.
Now tomorrow we will probably pop in here very quickly to give our review of Planet of the Apes. We're gonna go see that tomorrow night. So we'll probably jump in here to give our review of that, and then if there's anything, because Corey will be here too, anything that we want to discuss afterwards, we can do that. But that is where we'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow, expect to see everybody here tomorrow for the Planet of the Apes review, and if there's any other news that we can tap into, we will. But again, appreciate everybody. If you were new,
before we head out, we in Oklahoma, so I gotta ask, how confident you looking in the Thunder? That's why I said you might as well support them now, nigga. Like.
Well, because I haven't, but I don't get, that's true. I don't want to be called, a bandwagon fan or anything like that.
I'm here.
I mean,
I live here.
I do live here, but I have talked major shit about the Thunder in past. I have said
every time I see Chet playing good, I really want to text your ass.
I know,
like, man,
and he's playing.
You're
phenomenal.
not wrong a lot, but.
I was
really
wrong. I was wrong about Chet because he is playing his ass off. I did not expect him to get in the league and do what he's doing. So I was wrong. I never. If you would have asked me, did I exceed the fucking Thunder?
Man,
as where they are
without Durant and Westbrook,
I would have told you
soon,
fuck no.
Honestly,
I'd have said fuck no. This team is ass. I've watched them. I paid $5 for a ticket.
Swear. And what Minnesota's doing to Denver right now, bro, I'm honestly looking forward to seeing if we can get to OKC and Minnesota with that shit gonna look good.
Oh no, I do want to see OKC and Minnesota because
Ant
is
tough.
God, he's playing his ass off right now. But I also think that Indiana's pretty fucking
Corn
tough.
said, "How far is y'all from Dallas?" We like 4 hours from Dallas.
Depends who's driving. I can get there in 2.
I was about to say that's why I said 3, 4. Like. Nigga, Darius driving 2.
Yeah,
if I'm driving with no weed, 2, 3. But fucking 4 is usually the standard traffic. Once you get down to that Dallas traffic, you get fucking fucked.
I think Indiana's balling too.
No,
though.
bro. But they're fucking down 2-0 now.
They are.
Jalen Brunson looked good. That's the thing.
I expected Indiana to win last night. I was watching last night's game. I did not expect them not to.
I didn't think.
Wait, did Indiana?
New York would look this good without Julius Randle? Even though I don't think Julius Randle is good, but Cornelius said I'm this close to making the decision to relocate to Dallas.
That's where I'm trying to relocate to.
I was gonna say, as someone who's been to Dallas a lot, I'm from Texas. Fucking Dallas is cool, but there's some unexpected things that you gonna see. You gotta pay to drive on the highway for the most part.
There's the suburbs of Dallas too that are also beautiful. Like I want to move to like Louisville, Plano, Denton, one of those. Living in Dallas itself.
As a young nigga, I want to move to Houston, bro.
Yeah, I want to get the fuck out of here.
Lit, nigga.
I want to get the fuck out of here. But I think that too, the whole Thunder thing, they're just. I didn't expect it.
I was gonna say, you heard Jokic won MVP. You think SGA was robbed or anything? Or you think Jokic should have won it again? You think he should have went to Luka or something before we get out? It's late as fuck. Are you like, I don't even give a damn?
I really don't. I saw it, but I really...
It wasn't Steph. I don't even give a damn.
It's not like the Warriors being out of it, which I called this at the beginning of the year for everybody that tried to tell me, oh, no, y'all are going to be good. Bro, shut the fuck up. There were so many people...
Maybe next stream we should put some of our text up or something.
I'm saying,
how we
bro.
talked about how that CP3 shit was not it.
So many people told me CP3 was the move.
We talked about all this.
The thing about it, when I argue about the Warriors with people, it's like, you're arguing my team with me. Like, yep. I watch these niggas.
Same thing.
Like,
niggas try to tell me what's wrong with the Nets.
Yes.
Like, that shit ain't even on the court. That shit started in the front office, man.
You're talking about shit as just a viewer. I'm talking about shit as I think I'm on the GM team. Like,
that, bro. When you get into that coaching phase, like I haven't even coached that much, but just like the mind I have of basketball, it's like, bro, it's so hard to see the game as a regular fan because you're like, man.
It is.
What the fuck is Steve Kerr doing? What the fuck is Darvin Ham doing, bro? Like,
it is. So it's hard to watch.
Even when I was in high school, I was a senior, got a new coach. I was like, man, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And so it's just, man, it's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. I love basketball, but with my team not being in it, which I called, I don't care.
Yeah. But hey, now that OKC's doing good and I'm here, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a bandwagon because I've always supported them. You know, I'll go to games.
I did support them.
I'm not the biggest hater. You've hated on them a little bit.
I have. I've hated on them for quite a while.
But I think honestly, like just being here, supporting them. I mean, if you would have saw what we went through with some shitty ass teams, if y'all could have seen them lineups,
but that's why I'm not that.
$5.
That's why I don't care anymore because I moved on. Like when I started cheering for Steph, I was like,
I could never go.
Yeah, it's like I'm here, but it's not even like I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a Steph fan. Like if Steph goes to play for the goddamn Charlotte Bobcats, it'll be a rough time. Man. But I would still cheer.
You'll see some of my Instagram stories.
I would still cheer. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm here for Steph."
I mean, the way everything's going, the Warriors gonna make something happen. Fucking the Bucks got eliminated, and Giannis want to play with Steph. LeBron want to play with Steph. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't see the same lineup y'all rolled out this year being there next year.
No, I mean, no.
But then again, Bob Myers isn't there, so.
That shouldn't have been
I don't like what y'all's new management's been doing. But I think Bob Myers jumped ship as soon as he seen shit going bad.
That's where Wardell's got to step in and be kind of like that LeBron voice where he's got to kind of be that front office demanding shit. Like, I'm the franchise player. I've brought y'all this and this and that. You better get some niggas in here that can help me. Nigga, help me.
Cornelius said Giannis staying in Milwaukee. I don't know. Giannis has said he wants to win. And if they fail to build a winning team around him, I mean, given he was hurt and they lost in the first round, but Dame don't want to be there. That nigga want to be in Miami. He's like, yeah, I don't want to be in Portland, so I'll go play in Milwaukee. But that nigga wants to be in Miami. And so, I don't know. We could sit here and talk hoops all night. It's fucking late. And so I'd definitely love to do that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have brought it up because I could definitely do this all night, but I think we got to go.
Yeah. Like I said, be back tomorrow. for
Myers
the
definitely will be around. Yeah, no, I'm actually excited for Planet of the Apes though.
Yeah,
it
like
premiered tonight at Warren, like one showing, and then the rest premiere tomorrow. So gonna go see that. Hopefully it's good as some
I've
of the
heard
trailers
nothing but
look.
good things so far. So
good. Hopefully
got
Westfall put out a banger.
80 something on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So
good. I'm loving it. My mom was like, without Caesar, nobody wants. I was like, you're a fucking hater, bro. Like,
yeah, no, it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be good. But yeah, no. So we'll be back tomorrow for that. So like, subscribe if you're new here. I appreciate everybody watching and hanging out tonight. To all 42 of you still in here. So if you I don't know if you've been paying attention to the rap beef again. I talked about that at the beginning, but Kendrick has made it to where his music is copyright free. So please, on your way out, please enjoy this. Actually, I don't think I fixed it to where on the way out it's Kendrick. Let me bear with me just 1 second. 1 second.
The following program is rated TV.
Shit. Maybe not. Shit. Enjoy him here then. Okay. But no, for real. I wanted to play it as the I should have said it as the outro before I started the stream. I said it as the music just on the stream.
We'll try to get it set up for tomorrow.
Yeah. Any Kendrick bops you got? Kendrick said it's copyright free, so
want y'all niggas to hate on this nigga and get paid.
Say OVO. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Peace out.